I'm just thinking of an introduction.
I
I missed you guys.
Just get it out of the way.
Absence makes the meme grow fonder.
We missed you too. Insert name here.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a very special episode of the show. We're doing another Quantum Leap review. This time it's an episode from the new series of Quantum Leap. It's Let Them Play, the episode that says trans rights.
What the hell is this?
Oh shit.
Oh god, he climbed out of the vertical shaft!
Cheese it!
Do you have any idea how long it takes you to climb out of a vertical shaft?
About 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, exactly that. So we're not doing Quantum Leap. I'm back.
We're not?
My demise were greatly exaggerated.
But I wrote notes for the show, unlike when we do Doctor Who. Well, they're going in the fire then.
You have a fire? Wow.
I live in Arizona. The state's on fire.
Fair point. So instead of
Not
whatever
joking,
Frezno just said,
100 degrees.
Instead of
100
whatever
degrees.
Frezno just said, we are doing what we were planning to do 4 weeks ago, until I fell down a vertical shaft, fell in inverted commas, and that's Logopolis.
Look, just because I wanted to reenact the This is Sparta moment doesn't mean anything. It was completely by accident. You got in the way of my foot.
I got in the way of your foot.
Oops.
I'm so tired.
He had it coming.
I'm not even gonna. But did I see it? Should I have seen it?
Okay.
You only had it.
Logopolis! Yay!
Yeah,
That
let's
sounds
talk
like a
about
fun
Logopolis. And to discuss it with me, I'm joined by 2 backstabbing traitorous rats.
Yay, I'm a rat.
Yeah, I could have picked my words better there. Sorry.
Hello, everybody. It's me, Hackhouse Bales. I'm the rat from Australia.
What?
Firstly, to my virtual right, she kicked me down a vertical shaft. It's Cat.
Look, you keep saying that, and it keeps not being true. You ran in front of my foot. It was an accident.
It could be worse. She could have
Okay.
tried to kill you with a forklift.
She could have. She could
He
have.
tried to kill him with forklift.
And to my virtual left, he stood by and did nothing while I ran into Cat's foot. It's Frezno further.
I was watching very intently in this mirror.
Well played.
No, see, what happened is that I went up to him and I basically just did this.
What if that sound could get me every time?
I think that pretty much covers exactly what happened.
Why does that get me every single time? That, on the other hand, I've grown sick of. I can't even tell that was Cat or Frezno that time.
Yes.
Yes, let's
Yes.
move on.
Bruh.
Oh, by the way, I mean this is like 3 or 4 weeks out of date now because I was planning to do this, on the week of the 13th. But Champions, Champions, Champions.
I think the wrestling did a thing.
It's football, Cat.
Oh,
Come on, England. Score some fucking
My team,
goals.
who shall remain nameless, but
That's
everyone knows
your
who they
new
are,
football alert.
won all 3.
Goal, 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 goal.
They won the treble, and I'll leave it at that.
I still have that.
Hey.
And a lot of people are very upset that we won the treble. So to those people, I say deal with it. So yeah, Logopolis.
Logopolis!
Look, I would be more magnanimous in victory if they weren't so incredibly salty about it.
Anyway,
So anyways,
here's a
enough about the football.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
it's
Let's
4
move
weeks
on to
old.
happier things, like the
soccer.
untimely
Death of the
death, like the
universe.
untimely death of the Fourth Doctor.
And the death of the
Hooray!
universe, potentially.
Hooray!
Hooray! Everybody's about to die. Hooray!
Yay! Sweet sudden death.
So we left off on the Keeper of Traken. On a pretty big...
Yeah.
I don't want to say cliffhanger, because it wasn't.
Sort of.
It was a
A
development.
hook for the next serial.
A hook, yeah.
Yes.
Where the worthy crispy master
Crispy
lost the Keeper of Traken power, but had just enough residual energy and a spare TARDIS to take over the body of Consul Tremus and become the Anthony Ainley Master and go off for another scheme in time and space, which
So
we are
this is
about
not his
to see.
debut, but it's his first full serial.
I mean, his debut was like those 2 seconds at the end of Keeper of Traken.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not technically his debut, but... And
This
even
is-
his full debut is a little misleading, because he's actually only in the last 2 parts in person.
Because they're
Yeah.
trying to do a little trickery.
His
But
presence is felt in the first 2 parts very much.
especially in that opening.
Oh god, that opening.
Which we have a fella, we have a policeman, and he goes up to this strange blue object called a police box. Obviously, this is what the TARDIS is. Oh wait, no, it's an actual police box.
Yeah, it has a phone, a working phone.
Well, it's an actual police box, quote unquote.
Well, in the show, it's supposed to be.
Yeah, so he...
Well, no, because we find out very quickly that it's
But
not the
it is-
actual police box.
Yeah,
anymore.
Well, it is for about 5 seconds
the
before.
door opens,
Yeah.
the TARDIS is ACAB.
I appreciate that.
I
one,
mean, I
thank
would
you.
definitely see the TARDIS being like all, ACAB.
And why would you see her being a cab?
Because
Because
Oh, because
Ash's
she's
TARDIS.
fucking sentient.
Because yeah, thank you. But yeah, there's a weird it's obviously a dematerialization effect it's this funny little effect that goes over the police box. And there's something, it's obviously a TARDIS landing there, and the cop gets pulled in against his will, and
Yeah.
He dead.
the Doctor and Adric, meanwhile, are talking about happy things after their experience on Traken. Like entropy!
And decay.
Boy!
So we did get a bit of banter between Adric and the Doctor at the start of the Keeper of Traken, and I kind of prefer that to this. I understand it because this is quite a serious story.
It is the final Tom Baker story, so it's got a darker tone to it. And
It's got a very somber tone throughout, yes.
Mhm.
Particularly in regards to one character who is a bit of a mystery, shall we say.
Yeah. But I love the set here, where it's just this old, decayed room in the TARDIS, and it's just like the stone is crumbling and ivy's grown all over the place.
I mean, I like it. I'm pretty sure it's just taken apart the set of Traken.
Maybe. But
Well,
I
I
like
hate to tell you this, but at the very least, according to TARDIS Wiki, this is identified as the TARDIS cloister room.
and this is where we get the debut of the Cloister Bell,
Oh,
actually.
this is the debut?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Oh.
So, knew who was. So when New Who was like, when Russell T Davies was like, I need a noise that says the universe is going to end every other season. Oh, there we go. Boom. Boom. Shit's fucked.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Everybody
the modern
knows.
series definitely uses the Cloister Bell more than the classic one did.
So the Doctor has an idea in his head after the whole Traken business. He wants to fix the chameleon circuit. And there is a very strange and complex chain of things that he and Adric need to do in order to do it. Basically, step 1, go to Earth, which I love Adric's line about where they say that it's going to Earth. It's like, is that the planet with all the oceans in it? Yeah, wet. Because this is actually the first
Well-
time Adric would be there. But anyway, they have to go to Earth. They have to find a legitimate police box. Then they have to get all the measurements of the police box down to the exact decimal or whatever the fuck in variable dimensions, more than just 3. And then they take it to the planet Logopolis, where something called block transfer computation is going to be applied to fix the chameleon circuit.
37 dimensions, to be precise.
7 dimensions. And while the Doctor is telling Adric all of this, we are intercutting with a new face, but one that we've seen before because non-linearity on the show.
Oh my goodness, poor Tegan.
It's the introduction of Tegan.
And she does
Poor
get
Tegan,
a lot better.
poor Aunt Vanessa.
True, but Tegan does get a lot better as a character as time goes on.
Well, they're obviously going for and this is a thing I noticed too in the first Davison series, where they're kind of going for the deliberate throwback of unconsciously calling back to like 1963.
When the show was good.
Can't beat me to it.
Yeah.
Can't beat me to
So I mean, Tegan is obviously in the same mold as Ian and Barbara, where she is someone who, spoilers, will get roped into the TARDIS and taken against her will, and not happy about not being able to return home, much like Ian and Barbara were.
I mean, all she had to do was not go into the police box, but she does exactly that, and it's like... Then the first thing that she does as soon as she gets inside is not, oh, it's bigger on the inside. This is weird. I should leave. Her first thought is, I'm explore.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, she tried to leave, but the door shut behind her.
Yeah, that's true.
And then she gets lost.
I mean, you could argue, oh, she didn't leave instantly, but she was trying to mentally comprehend, how in the fuck is this box bigger on the inside? But we're getting ahead of ourselves as Tegan and her Aunt Vanessa are heading to the airport to start Tegan's job as an air stewardess.
I get the impression she's been a stewardess before, but she's not a fully trained one yet, but she will be after today, is what she says.
Yeah,
I think this is her first flight ever.
Yeah.
Well,
and she's a bit of a scatterbrain.
But yeah, first full
She's
flight.
a bit of a scatterbrain and forgets to shut the front door. This is just interesting banter that she has with her aunt, and they're talking in their thick Australian accent. Because they wanted to sell the show abroad in Australia and appeal to them. So
well,
okay.
I mean, obviously they did it wrong. What they should have done was get a robot dog, send it to a time in the future, have it instantly explode, and then turn into something else.
God damn it.
Pat, you joke, but you know what the very next Doctor Who related thing to air after this was?
Was it K9 and Company?
It was K9 and Company.
Okay, hold the phone. Why does me saying the word God damn it trigger, I'm not going to say the word, Microsoft's equivalent to Alexa? Because it just did.
Oh my god.
I think it's Cortana.
Saying that word for some reason triggered Master Chief's AI buddy from Halo.
I mean, like... Yeah. Because, I mean, the moment that you turn on Windows 11, I mean, you're like, God damn it, because something goes wrong, and then Cortana's like, yes.
I mean...
Can I help?
It'll just be on the floor of the laptop, and I'll say something innocuous, and I'll see the thing come up.
See, the answer to this is, turn her off.
I have done.
You're a British man. You should be good at turning women off.
Oh, wow. Wow.
My God.
Anyone got some ice for that burn?
Holy shit.
Holy shit is right.
You don't put ice on a burn, you run cold water over it, you idiot.
That's not the phrase, you idiot.
No.
The phrase is not, do you want to have some cold water for that burn? If that thought that I said the word again, that would have been hilarious just there, but it didn't.
Trying to get back. So,
but no, health notification for everybody out there. Do not put ice on a burn. That will actually make the burn worse.
Yeah, cold water.
Please put cold running water on it.
If you burn your hand in the kitchen, for example, which I've done on a few occasions, 30 seconds under the cold tap, immediately.
Also, do not put mustard on it.
What?
Yeah, do not do that.
Yeah, I've had, Chris got burned a while ago, and immediately they were like, put mustard on it, and I'm like, no!
Please tell me she
What?
didn't.
She did
Why?
not.
Why? Who would think to put mustard on a burn?
Well,
Why?
if it's something in the mustard is good for the burn, but it isn't.
What?
Yeah.
What's in mustard? Fucking mustard!
You're gonna have to look it up. It's honestly wild. Some people say it might work for first-degree burns, but other people are like, do not put it on first-degree burns.
Well, I mean,
you
I
will
definitely
cause,
got a first degree burn
bacteria
right
and stuff.
there. So, will you pass the mustard, please?
Oh, yes. So part one is kind of a, how shall I put it? Not, it's simultaneously a bunch happens, but not too much happens. A lot of it is just people conversing about things. So it's either the doctor
It's
and
set
Adric
up.
talking about the doctor and Adric are either talking about how they're going to measure a police box, or Tegan and Vanessa are talking about stuff. Because while the doctor and Adric are getting ready, they land right next to the police box we saw in the opening, just as Tegan and her aunt are driving by, and they get a flat tire, and their car breaks down right in front of the police box.
And then, bizarrely enough, when they go to get the spare tire's got a puncture in it.
Yeah,
How?
there is some. It's set up, but also there's definitely some writer's cut here. It's kind of being luxurious with it.
Well, let me tell you guys something. There is such a thing as being really lazy and forgetful.
Yeah.
It's very possible that she got a puncture, she put on the spare tire, she put the other tire into the back so that she could go get it fixed later, and then she just never did it.
I'll tell you a story that's worse. Back in November, we were driving back from the city, and a couple hours before we got home, we hit a flat. And so we're like, oh, well, we've got a spare tire. But let me try to find the right automotive words. The spare tire had different holes for the nut, and it wouldn't fit on the
Oh my
actual
God.
car. It wasn't the right kind of tire
Wrong specification
for
of
the
tire,
car.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh shit. So luckily, we had family who were also on the way back, so we were able to call them, and they were able to get the spare tire. And somebody helped. Somebody who we knew, like a family friend, was there to pick the rest of us up and take us back home. But like,
Thank God.
man, yeah, not great to be stranded in the cold with the tire that won't come to. Like even a trucker stopped to help us out to get the tire on, and he was like, I don't know how the fuck you can get this tire on. It was just incompatible with the color.
It happens.
Damn.
It's rare, but it happens, and it's a real shame when it does happen. But I'm glad you're okay in the end.
Oh yeah, we made that. We made it out of that fine. But,
And then you're right. Tegan goes inside the TARDIS, thinking it's a police box to get some help. She winds up in a maze.
We're jumping ahead a little bit. There's a lot going on.
There is, but also, like you said, it's kind of paradoxical. Like a lot happens, but a lot doesn't happen as well.
Well,
It's
I'll
literally
try and
just set
take
up.
it. I'll
It's
try
set
and
up.
take it here. So, the doctor and Adric, they want to measure a police box, and the doctor lands next to the police box. And so Adric is like, well, we should go out and measure it. Oh, there's no need to draw attention to ourselves like that. I'll just land around it. And so he tries again, and they land around the police box. It's a neat little effect where their TARDIS materializes, and then there's a bike propped up next to the police box, and the bike falls down as you hear whoop. So, it's as simple an effect as someone just has a rope on the bike and they're pulling it down, but it works to communicate, oh, they are now surrounding the police box. And so they are in the TARDIS and they're measuring the thing. And then they realize something's going on.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
And Adric tries to get into the other police box. He manages to open it. And the cloister bell is ringing because something bad is going on. The doctor is like, I'll go in. You stay out here. Adric follows him in. And what's inside the police box is actually a fucking TARDIS.
Yeah.
With another police box inside of it.
So this concept is wild.
That's funny. Moffat used this concept for one of those children in need sketches in like 2011.
Yeah.
Where Matt Smith's TARDIS lands inside itself, but it's a recursive loop. It's like it's like pointing a mirror at another mirror. Just like you reflect itself into infinity.
He gave himself the opportunity to have Amy Pond flirt with herself in that special.
Yeah, it's not not the greatest jokes in the world, but yeah, now there's a
It's no
TARDIS
curse of
inside the
female death.
TARDIS. Yeah, there's a TARDIS inside the TARDIS, and there's a TARDIS inside that TARDIS, and now they're just opening the TARDISes and they're going inside, and they're like, Adric is like, well, how long can it go? Can it go on forever? Let's hope not, or we're fucked.
TARDIS
And
Russian
that's
dolls, basically.
Yeah, and as they're venturing in here,
Russian
the first TARDIS that is inside the Doctor's TARDIS dematerializes, just as Tegan is about to roll her spare tire. Oh wait, shit! I forgot one of the important setups. That white guy.
That white guy.
There you go.
You're right. He's very white, but can we not just call him that white guy?
I mean, we can call him by his real name, the Watcher.
Scott the
here.
Was. Yes.
Watch.
Pictured is the Watcher. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. No, that was the wrong image. This is the actual Watcher.
No, I think that's still the wrong one. It's actually this guy. I think we can sum this up by saying the Watcher is not a very creative name. And I don't know if the BBC came up with that or fans came up with that, but it's not very.
Cat. I want you to say that again. The Watcher is not a very creative name. That's very funny, specifically to me, because you all know me as Frezno Inferno, Freezing Inferno. You have since 2008, 2009.
Uh-oh.
You want to guess what my old username was on GameFAQs.com from
Watcher.
the years
Was it the
1999 to now? It's sure.
Wow.
Wow,
That
that
is
sure
amazing.
isn't a
What
creative.
I said.
Wow, that sure isn't a creative name. You sure told 13-year-old me.
I mean, if it helps at all, my old username used to be Angel Girl Mia, which was named after Mia from Golden Sun.
Oh my.
Mine was Ninja Licking Good.
So, you know. What?
Mine was Ninja Licking Good. It got shown to NLG.
I actually really like that one.
Okay, yeah, and then I learned what an oxymoron was in English class, and I was like, oh, so like a freezing inferno. Ooh, I like that.
I hate to tell you this, Frez, but you're not an oxymoron. You're just a regular one.
Oh, the subject.
Someone give me some fucking mustard! Ah, that burns!
That's the third burn.
Dishing out the birds.
We have got to stop Kat, the arsonist of this podcast, because my God, that's 3 fires she's put out. She's lit.
Okay, but
if we
this-
ever play modded Among Us, you know what role I'm going to be.
I forget that is actually a role in Modded Among Us. Speaking of
God.
which, the Scream cosmetics are kind of great.
Oh god,
You can eject Ghostface from the airlock.
good. So yeah, the Watcher is watching Tegan and Aunt Vanessa change this tire, just on the other side of a fence, on the other side of the road, just looking out and watching.
I mean, it's just like a white guy watching the women struggle and just waiting for them to actually ask him to help.
Sherry!
Of
Yes,
course,
that's
the
going at
Watcher
the
is not John.
episode. That's going at the episode.
Of course, the Watcher is not John Cena because you can actually
See him, yes.
What
That's
are you guys
twice.
talking about? There's just a blank image.
But
That's
it's,
twice
it's
I've been
great.
to the joke tonight. God damn it, I'm slow.
But it's great when the Doctor notices the Watcher and looks back at them, and it's like, oh, because clearly he is disturbed by this.
Oh, yeah,
and not
he
in
really
a
is.
I'm being watched way. It's just like, oh, shit just got real.
And this
if
Watcher,
you're
this
around.
mysterious figure, shows up multiple times.
Mhm.
And each time it does, the Doctor is, as you say, disturbed, taking it very seriously.
So here's where they kind of fucked up. And the implication, given that Anthony Stanley doesn't show up until part 3, is that, oh, is this some sort of thing by the Master? Could this be the Master in disguise? But it's like, you showed the motherfucker in the clip in the hook to the last one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been really interesting.
Also-
Like if you hadn't shown, if you cut around it, if you hadn't revealed the actor, and he'd just gone, new body.
Yeah, you could have
Then
watch a guy
show this fucker?
of Deepeye stage before he becomes Dremhouse.
No, see, it's perfectly fine because we get a reasonable explanation as to what the Watcher is at the end of the 4th serial. It's completely reasonable.
Yeah, completely. It's not some bullshit they pulled out their ass.
Not at all. And it totally makes sense.
Yeah. So okay, so I think I've caught up with all the important things. So Tegan decides, okay, I'm going to take this flat tire to the garage and get them to pump it up. I don't care how the fuck much I gotta pay. I won't be late for that flight. And then she stops in front of the police box, and it's like, maybe I can call for help. Oh, wait, the door is open. Let's go and investigate. Wait a minute, it's bigger on the inside. Oh, now I'm locked in. Oh my good God.
The phone knows
Oh,
I'm
the
back.
timing.
Tegan sees the police box. She's like, oh, maybe I can call for assist. Oh, it's open. And she goes in, and oh my God, it's bigger on the inside. I better, oh no, the doors are locked behind me. Oh, I guess I better explore this strange, mysterious place.
Again, why would you do that?
They
Because
did
you're
do
locked
a very
in and
good
you're trying
job here of conveying the sense of claustrophobia that Tegan is going through as she goes through
Yeah.
the maze of corridors.
Yeah.
And also it's the old Scooby-Doo trick of having them come through it and then come through the other side of the camera.
I mean, it's Doctor Who. If they haven't learned how to film corridors by now, what are you doing?
And then the writer of Love and Monsters saw that and thought, that'd make a great opening for my story.
Eh,
Listen. I said it on the show. I will defend that episode to a point, and I mentioned the exact point.
Was the point Peter Kay?
The point was when the big green thing showed up. Remember?
So it was Peter Kay then, technically.
How about we get to the point of this episode?
Oh yeah.
So we've got Tegan lost, and then Vanessa's about to get lost in a very different sense of the word. Because she sees the flat tire next to the police box, and she's like, "Oh, Tegan," and then she picks it up, and the door opens, and she's dragged inside. And by the way, props to her for trying to hit this thing with the tire. It doesn't do any good in the end, but she picks it up ready to defend herself. So,
Hey, you two, guess what? You now have context for one of the many continuity references in Power of the Doctor.
yeah,
When Sasha Dewan taunts Tegan.
about
Hi,
Aunt Vanessa.
Tegan! How's Aunt Vanessa? Oh, that's right! She's dead!
Yeah, because he did it to her.
Yeah.
I did not remember that, but okay, I'll take your word.
Now
sounds
you
very
understand the
clever.
reference, and that makes that story an automatic classic, right?
But it's,
right?
it's why Tegan is so aggressive towards the master when he shows up.
I mean, to be fair, she's got good reason.
Yeah.
They all have,
If-
but yes.
What love and care that Chris Chibnall showed to a 40-year-old continuity. Now let's see what he does with his current cast. Oh, wait.
Oh, honey, have I got something to tell you once we get to the 4th one?
Yeah, I know what you're going to say, and as soon as I pick Logopolis, I hoped that you would pick up on it. I cannot wait for you to go off on that shit.
Oh boy. So let's skip ahead to the end of part 1 here. So
The Doctor makes it out of the infinite loop, which is not at all an infinite loop, and he ends up outside, and there are some more policemen around
police are here,
the
yes.
abandoned car.
one of them was in Genesis of the Daleks.
Well, I'll be damned.
Was he?
The Inspector, but we haven't done that one yet. That
Which
is going to be an absolute doozy when we get to it.
Don't make fun of the giant clams. Don't make fun of the giant clams. Don't make fun of the giant clams.
Like I said, it's going to be a doozy. But
What did you say about my mother?
So yeah, the part one cliffhanger
Don't
then.
be burned.
The police would like to have a word with Doctor Who about the sports car. And he goes, and they take him to the car and show him what's in the car. And he's like, he escaped from Traken after all. And the cliffhanger shot is shrunken people.
Yeah,
Dolls.
essentially.
But-
There's
yeah,
a
which-
great bit
By the
where,
way,
where the police ask him about his vehicle, and of course the Doctor means the TARDIS. But yeah,
By the way, does anybody else sometimes like? Do you remember that part in Spaceballs where he was playing with his dolls?
Yes.
Do you think the Master does that sometimes?
That's canon now.
that's
Yes,
definitely my
yes,
head
it is.
canon.
Yes.
Knock next time. Did you see anything? No, sir. I didn't see you playing with your dolls again.
Spaceballs is
And then he
great.
just turns him into a doll.
So, part 2 opens with
Three
the
words,
Doctor
come in
about
the desert.
Part 2 opens with the Doctor about to be taken in for questioning when he loudly shouts, "If only someone would help me create a diversion!"
And
To
Adric
which
obliges.
Adric obliges.
Adric volunteers his tribute.
And the two escape the police. And it's really funny that there is a bit of a drama here where it's like, oh wait, we can't dematerialize. And earlier in part 1, it was mentioned. It should be mentioned that the Doctor took the look at Romana's old room in the TARDIS and was like, oh man, I miss Romana. Too bad. And now he's like, we need to jettison some weight. Adric, I'm gonna delete Romana's room.
Yeah, and Romana's room's got the school uniform in it from City of Death.
Yeah.
Why did we keep that?
All I can think, like, I hate to keep making these references, but did y'all ever see The Emperor's New Groove?
Oh yeah,
Wrong
great
lever.
It'll be like that moment where she's like, "Oh, we're so sad that he's gone." Well, he ain't getting any deader.
film.
We're just lucky that Tegan wasn't in Romana's room when he deleted it.
Oh my god, can you
Yeah, I
imagine?
was kind of
But
worried.
then
about that.
again, as we learned in The Doctor's Wife, if there's anything alive when you delete a room, it automatically gets teleported into the council.
Which would have made her even more confused.
Yeah, the thing
Yeah.
is though that we found that out in The Doctor's Wife, which happened much later.
It's
So
weird
therefore it
though
wasn't
that they
canon
use
at this
this particular story to basically say goodbye to Romana because it happened before Traken.
2 stories ago, so it's
Yeah.
like, well, Warrior's Gate was a little rushed with that goodbye. It must be
Yeah,
said.
no,
but then
you
she's
see what
barely mentioned in
this is?
Traken. I think she gets like a passing mention.
You see what this is though? This is the 4th Doctor's last episode. They're getting rid of everything that has to do with the 4th Doctor.
Exactly. Out with the
Oh.
old and in with the new.
Rain, have you seen Castrovalva before?
Yes.
Do you mind if I spoil a bit from part 1 of Castrovalva?
No.
I kind of mind because I haven't seen it.
Oh well, it's minor, but it fits that out with the old and with the new thing. But I can keep it to
Or
myself.
have I
with it.
seen? I don't remember Castrovalva.
That's the first Doctor story. Fifth Doctor
Fifth
story.
Doctor.
Blah, 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 words.
No, I have not seen it. I do not.
All right, leave it.
At all.
Leave it.
Oh no, really.
When we
If
ever
you
get
know,
to
you know.
Valve, we'll you'll be able to bring
If you
it up.
know, you know. But
I
anyway,
do
they
know,
managed to
and
get away.
Yeah, you're right.
They managed to get away, and it's funny because the cops were like, oh, "Sir, come out of there! You can't get away." You know. All right, get the key, and they open it, and it's just a police box, and they're like, "Okay, what the fuck?"
It's got like traffic cones inside of it.
But this leads to one of the more bonkers parts of Logopolis, where the Doctor has a cunning plan to get the Master out of the TARDIS.
Oh my god. We literally advocates killing him.
This is okay. Listen. I enjoy my Gonzo from time to time. I like being charitable of things. This plan is fucking stupid.
It is, but it's all down to something that Adric says. It's sort of like off the cuff. He
Well,
says,
flush him
"Flush
out."
the Master out," and Tom Baker says, "I took that literally," because he asked Adric, "Can you
There's no-
swim?"
They're going to land the TARDIS at the bottom of the River Thames
And open the doors.
and open the door.
Our next companion,
Yes,
a great.
because that's a great idea.
Our next companion, a barracuda.
Our next
Flooding
companion,
every-
an amalgamation of all the pollution in the River Thames.
No, wait, we
It's
already
still
did that on
Thames.
K9.
It's still Thames, but
Thames, whatever. I don't give a shit. I'm American.
Okay, so the writer Christopher Bidmead has tried to defend this in the special features.
Oh,
saying
did
that hang on, I think it's on the TARDIS wiki here. Let me just see if I can get the exact quote. I'm trying to find it. No. Where the hell is it? What? What? Oh, no, hang on. Flush? No, he's what? What the hell?
they
I don't know.
actually manage to. By the way, this insane paradox doesn't actually happen.
Okay, here I remember. I can't find the exact quote, but I remember it as something being like, the Doctor is doing something so irrational that the Master could not predict it.
That sort of makes sense, but also it's silly.
Yeah, but it doesn't come to anything. And what's even sillier is they land the TARDIS at the bottom of the River Thames, and then the Doctor and Adric get in front of the doors, and they're like, "Okay, we'll hold back pressure with our bodies." Like, when those doors open and that water comes crashing in, you are going to be swept away.
They would have
leaf on the current.
If they had done this like as intended, they would have been. They would have reacted like Data when he hit that green gas hit him.
That's a deep cut.
That's a very deep cut. Also, I'd like to say, this has a tiny bit of a spoiler for what comes up later in one of these episodes, but it says here that Christopher Bidmead defended the scenes where the Doctor attempts to flush the Master out of his TARDIS, and the Master holding the universe to ransom with a tape recorder, by asking, "Does it seem far-fetched now we have the internet?"
Fair point.
That's not the reason why the latter one is far-fetched, but we'll get to that. But
that's
yeah,
an interesting statement.
Yeah. Also, we've bagged on the special effects for Traken and this, or we will in the future.
Oh, right. We never talked about the fucking Microsoft Paint.
Yeah, good special effects. That Star Trek film, because my God, when he hits that glass tube.
Oh, okay, but here's the thing. The Blu-ray release. You know how some of those Doctor Who stories have like special editions.
Yes.
This is one of them.
Tried to fix it?
Yeah, this is one of them. They redo that whole MS Paint thing,
and
they touch up some other stuff. The what?
Was the fix actually worse than the original?
Take it or leave it. There is one fix that's kind of works, because there is one really goofy special effect in the final serial, which always gets me.
Regen?
No, it's during the finale, but we'll get to that. But anyway, a torrent of water does not come crashing through the TARDIS, because they have not actually landed at the bottom of the river, but they have landed on top of a boat on the river.
Yeah, they landed on a jetty.
And the Doctor looks up at a bridge and he sees the Watcher.
Moon Knight.
It's Blue people love that film. And he goes to talk with this mysterious figure. And then when he comes back, he's got even more of that sulky funereal tone. Like, oh shit, Adric, I just dipped into the future. Things are about to get really bad. Anyway, it's time for us to go to Logopolis. And so just as they are about to head to Logopolis, Tegan, meanwhile, is in the room with the Ivy, and the Master's TARDIS has been fucking around with her, and she's fed the fuck up. She finally busts her way into the console room, and she's like, I did that! Who I am! And the Doctor and Adric literally do this.
Yeah. Yeah! You're not wrong.
No,
What?
no, you're not.
But they quickly realise that she is the dead woman was her aunt. So they have to be very careful what they say.
Which that'll last for about an episode. But anyway, we're actually at the title planet of the story, Logopolis.
Yeah, and we meet
Only
their
in
leader.
part 3. Wait, no, part 2. This is the end of part 2. Never mind,
part
sorry.
2. We
Well,
meet their leader,
more like the
Monitor.
middle of part 2. Yeah.
And the Monitor is a better Monitor than the Monitor from the DC universe, because my God, what a terrible character that was.
Sean, what the hell does that mean?
I don't know what he's like in the comic books. Maybe he's.
I am not that big on DC stuff.
Maybe he's
I'm more of a
decent in the
Marvel.
comics, but in the Flash and Arrow, like the latter seasons, he was terrible.
Oh, thank God you were talking about CW Flash.
Yeah.
For a moment, I thought you were talking about the film with the criminal.
The Grant Gustin Flash, the Stephen Amell Arrow. And
For a moment, I thought you were talking about the film with the criminal
he's
in
got
it.
like Nav Nouveau or something, but he's just known as the Monitor.
Right.
Okay, let's put it this way: the Monitor is just basically the DC version of the Watcher from Marvel.
And he kind of sucks in the TV show.
Right.
They watch over the multiverse. They seek to prevent crossovers between the universes.
Yeah.
Good job.
He.
Good job, guys.
Yeah, that's amazing because in the TV show he oversees a massive crossover between the universes.
Whoops.
Good job, guys.
Like he's all about, I'm here to stop this multiverse nonsense, and it's like, right, so we're gonna get everyone to team up then. Dear God.
God Almighty. So we're on Logopolis, and there's a rather interesting giant satellite dish that would not be out of place on planet Earth. In fact, it is an exact replica of a giant satellite dish on planet Earth that's called the Pharos Project. And the whole thing has been recreated on this alien planet using block transfer computation, which is basically, what if math was magic?
Basically.
Yeah.
Like, it's like alchemy, but math.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you about this fantastic book series.
Oh, yeah?
I forget the name of the book series now.
Please, tell me more!
Let me tell you about this thing. Oh, wait, I've forgotten. Never mind.
Look, it's like a series. It's got a specific name. Young Wizard series by Diane Duane. That's the one.
Diane Duane.
Yes. So it's like this. Imagine if wizardry was done by math.
Okay. And the
third book in the series is called High Wizardry, where this girl gets this, like, she's able to become a wizard, but she turns her magic book into a computer. And she makes, like, robots and shit. It's really cool.
Wow! A wizard book series not written by a total monster? I'm down!
Well, I haven't looked up Diane Duane, so...
Yeah, can we...
I may have been... Well, I mean...
Let me check her,
I would hope not, but,
okay,
you know.
The whole
The
point
good
of
news is, on her Wikipedia page, there's no controversy listing, so we're good.
Okay.
Okay, we're pretty
We'll
good.
take,
Okay,
we'll take that as it's safe.
Also,
But,
I swear to
plot
God, I know that...
transfer
I swear to God...
Basically, they speak calculations and they bring it into existence in the form of objects. It's an interesting concept.
I like it. Also, I swear to God, I know the name Diane Duane from Star Trek. Why do I know that name from Star Trek?
Maybe not Star Trek, but you might know her as a screenwriter on such shows as The Transformers from 1986.
Literally, the first thing I see is
Or,
Diane Duane,
maybe,
Star Trek comes up.
Star Trek The Next Generation in 1987. Or
There
maybe
you go.
even DuckTales. Woo!
Woo.
Oh, and Batman, the animated series.
Oh,
and
now we're
Gargoyles,
talking.
Spider-Man Unlimited.
Yep, she wrote the Young Wizards series and Star Trek novels.
It's funny
Oh
that
my
Batman
God.
gets mentioned as something I'm
Oh
interested in.
my God! Cat?
Yes.
Hang on, what? Hang on. I saw something here, but I don't see it on this thing. I don't see it on this thing. But it says that the publisher of High Wizardry is a publishing house called Corgi.
Yeah, Korg is a publisher.
Okay, we went down a bit of a rabbit hole there, but we're block transfer computating, and we're going to use the power of our math alchemy to repair the chameleon circuit in the TARDIS. And that's
It
why
sure
the
would be a
Doctor is
shame if
coming.
some of the people that were doing these calculations were to die suddenly, thereby putting the calculations wrong. Oh, wait.
Oh wait, the Master is here, and making it everyone's problem.
Yeah, he shrinks to death a few Logoptions?
Logopolitans.
Logopolitans?
Yes.
Politicians.
No, not politicians.
Well, much like regular politicians, they sit there and do nothing and pretend that they are
I was
doing
about to say
something.
something
But
really
then
dark.
it
I'm
turns
glad I
out if
caught
you try to
myself.
get rid of them, they're actually a lot more
God.
important than you
I'm glad I
thought.
caught myself in time. I was about to say something really quite dark. While this calculating is going on, we see an old friend.
Oh boy! Now
Nyssa
this
suddenly
is
turns up for no reason.
well, the reason is she was their
Because.
third pick because they originally wanted to send Tom Baker off by getting one of his older companions, and so they asked Elizabeth Sladen to come back, and she was unavailable. So then they asked Louise Jameson back, and she was unavailable. And so
Well,
they racked their brains to come up with who is a past friend to Doctor Who that could show up in this story. I know, that supporting character from the last serial.
Yeah.
Well, Elizabeth Sladen was, very, very busy. She was, in production for a very important show called K9 and Company. It was going to take off anytime soon.
Anytime now. Anytime now.
Still waiting, but it's fine. It'll take off soon.
It's still good.
Little airborne, it's still good, it's still good.
It's just a little inactive. It's still good. It's still good.
It's just ahead of its time. Its time will come soon. We promise.
Don't worry, that theme... Yeah, the theme song, aka the best thing Ian Levine ever did.
Remember 2009 when the show was Australian?
But our part 2 cliffhanger is a wild one. So the Doctor suspects, things are probably going to go bad. Will you look after Adric and Tegan for me? And so he gets in the TARDIS and they're like, hey, Doctor, what are you doing? Oh, he just went in there by himself as a precaution. Is he in danger? No, I talk to you, boy. He's totally not in danger. Oh my God, the TARDIS!
Moffat, you hack!
The incredible shrinking TARDIS.
This is just flatline.
Yeah.
Rain. How dare you discredit
Jimmy
Stephen
Matheson,
Moffat
you
like
hack!
that? That's better. But yeah, it's a shrinking fucking it's like flatline, yeah.
I was trying to continue the Moffat you hack joke that we had going for a few episodes, but you're right.
Moffat, you hack.
It's Jamie Matheson, you hack. But no, I love
So,
Flatline.
yeah.
Still love
The
Flatline.
TARDIS shrinks. So part 3 opens. The TARDIS shrinks. The Doctor is. It's different from how Flatline did it, where it was Flatline. The Doctor was just kind of stuck in there, and it was inconvenient. Here, the shrinkage actually seems to be hurting him.
Yeah.
Like something untoward is happening in that TARDIS, and so the Logopolitans. It's like saying you got to say it like the name of the ice cream, except you add a logo in front of it, a log in front of it instead of
I say we should just call them the logins.
logins. So the Logopolitans pick up the little tiny
Our
TARDIS,
leader, Kenny.
and they take it back to the base, and so they're going to work on a way to fix the TARDIS.
Yeah.
And so it's basically, hey Adric, take this piece of paper and literally read out the code to me and find the error. And they have a little bit.
The way that this planet works is that instead of having a big massive computer that they use to calculate everything, they use their minds. So they created like a network of, I don't want to say human, but of like living minds that are able to become their own living computer.
Yeah.
So by what they do is they go through each person and check their computations to try and figure out where the error is.
Which is why
And
when the master
unfortunately,
started
he
killing
finds
them, it ruined the calculation.
Yes. Plus, I think he also like put his own voice into it, is what they say.
Quite possible.
So like he took their spot, and then he was like 5, 26, 82.
5 out of 7.
Let's put it in at 63.
69. Nice.
69.
420 plays
69.
it.
Yeah.
69.
But also while this is happening, it should be mentioned, following up on what you said, the reason they use their own heads instead of computers is that the actual altering of reality that their math alchemy does would itself alter the computer and make it not work.
Which, yeah, all right. That's a pretty novel explanation for why we can't do it by a computer.
And so we're fixing the TARDIS, and there's a little bit of banter where it's just like, yeah, we have to use Earth numbers for the code, so I apologize for the crudeness. Oh, it's okay. The doctor told me how to read Earth numbers.
Yeah. Also, at some point, they build another. Well, they don't build a TARDIS per se, but like a TARDIS simulation.
What?
What?
Have I got that completely wrong?
Are you talking about like the weird sonic cone thing they do?
Yeah, the sonic cone thing.
Yeah, just to stabilize the dimensional fuckery that's hurting the doctor, so he can actually survive.
Yeah, it's a stasis field.
They seem to make like a. Yeah, that's right. It's stasis field.
Yeah.
It almost looks like another TARDIS at one point, but it's not.
Anyway, they find the errors and they
during this part, I was kind of worried that they were literally going to replace the TARDIS, and it's like, don't you dare do that to her. She's living.
Yeah.
She's sentient, yes. But
I would have been
so they find the error and they go to the section of the city where the people were, and they find a bunch of action figures, and it's like, oh,
that's why it's
someone's
wrong. Yeah.
fucking. Oh, someone's been killing Logopolitans. That's not good. And it's at this point that Nyssa runs into a familiar face. Why, it's her dad, years younger, and oddly malicious and laughing maniacally.
And here's the weird
Hi,
thing.
Dad. How you doing?
We see the master. We see the master like 5 minutes before this, just like hanging out in the background, laughing his head off.
I'm so evil.
That's his first official appearance. We all know what's going on. You know, shrunken bodies, maniacal laughter.
Yeah.
It's the master. We know this.
Maniacal laugh.
Now that's a maniacal laugh.
Yeah.
That film is
Nyssa also
kind of great.
Nyssa also reveals to Adric earlier that because the doctor got a call from Nyssa in the TARDIS in part 2, but this also reveals the person who brought her from Traken to Logopolis was indeed the mysterious Watcher.
Yeah, because Nyssa, when they met Nyssa, it was Adric and Tegan met her. The Doctor was already in the TARDIS at that point.
Yeah.
But yes, it's the Watcher that brought her to Logopolis.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, we should also mention that once the Doctor is able to get out of the TARDIS at this point, because they find the fault, they fix it, you know, that he's able to see the monitor and see outside, so they fix that. He immediately steps out and it's like, by the way, Jan's dead.
Yeah, the master killed him.
Your aunt got fucking body.
Bloody hell.
So sorry, Tegan, so sorry. Anyway, Monitor, where were we? Also, speaking of
that reminds me
dead
of a
family,
joke
we have
of a joke that was told by Ronnie Corbett on the Two Ronnies, where it's like the army or the U.S. Navy they're trying to think of the way to tell a crewman that his mother has died, and then it ends up saying like, all those with mothers, step forward. Not so fast, Schwarzenhammer.
Oh my god. So the master meets.
Well, obviously it wasn't the Marines, because they would try to, you know, draw out something with crayon, but they wouldn't be able to do it because they would just eat them all.
So yeah, the master meets Nyssa and it's like, oh yeah, I'm on a secret mission, and that's why I look younger and am so malicious. Oh, by the way, wear this bracelet. And don't tell anybody you saw me, because it's super
This
secret.
is a nice throwback to the Keeper of Traken. where
Yeah, a throwback from
the
last
master,
week.
in the guise of the Melkor, used jewelry to control her mother, her stepmother,
Yeah.
sorry, and then using it to control Nyssa herself. It does look different though.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
a neck collar for what the hell's her name? Cassia. It was a neck collar for Cassia. And that asshole name. And for Nyssa, it's a bracelet.
And luckily, Sarah Sutton doesn't have to shut her eyes and have fake eyes painted on her eyelids.
No.
Dude, look! It's
Funny.
not my eyes!
So we've now got the master, has fully revealed himself. And it leads to some wild stuff happening in pretty short order.
Oh, yeah.
So his plan involves Logopolis and also the Pharaohs Project, which was mentioned as that's what the big transmitter was a replica of, wasn't it?
We should also mention the original Pharaohs Project is actually the idea that they're going to take this big old dish and then they're going to transmit like signals, radio signals, out into space in order to find signs of extraterrestrial life. So it's a bit on the nose.
They're gonna set up a big old dish and then have Pierce Brosnan throw Sean Bean off of it.
They're gonna set up a big old dish and transmit naked pictures of us.
That film is great, and the way he dispatches it is great. For England, James, no. For me,
And then he doesn't die from the fall. He dies from fish falling on his ass.
that's a bit silly.
I'm sorry, he dies from what?
The flaming antenna crushes him to death.
That's not even the most amusing death in Goldeneye. You know what is.
This, Mr.
I'm
Freeze.
invincible. God.
God bless Alan Cumming.
See, the problem that I have is that every single holiday, whenever I used to go to my Mima's house, they would always have a James Bond marathon playing. So at some point, they just kind of all ran together, and I stopped paying attention. So
Right.
I don't know
God.
about any of the James Bond movies right now.
Tangent, but there was two Roger Moore Bond films on over the weekend. Can you
Which
guess
two?
what they were, Frezno?
Moonraker and For Your Eyes Only?
Exactly right.
Shooting in space.
Oh, well, that was an interesting double bill.
But they were on consecutive days.
Yeah.
But For
Yeah.
Your Eyes Only is so much better.
Yes, it is.
Moonraker's fine until they go into space.
Listen. I have learned to grow and accept the Gonzo. I think I can handle Moonraker now.
Yeah, but the film literally falls apart as the space station does. Because when they go into space.
Take one small step for mankind.
That's not a bad way to finish him off, but it's just the terrible acting that we're in space. No, really, guys, we're in space. We're walking really, really slowly because there's no gravity.
Drax was ejected.
Just ejected.
Anyway, we're a Doctor Who podcast.
We were.
So
We used to be.
the Master is continuing to fuck up Logopolis, and he uses those things that stabilize the TARDIS to silence the computations on Logopolis. Then he finally reveals himself, and he's like, "Ha ha! I'm here to take over Logopolis and hold it at ransom.
Yeah.
I'm evil. Oh my God, we won't let you do that. Oh yeah, well check this out." And he presses a button, and now he has control of Nissa's arm, and she starts to strangle Adric.
Oh my God. This. I didn't know this was in this episode.
God.
I feel like this moment would have been like more replayed, but I didn't know this was in this episode at all.
Oh yeah, and by the way, Nyssa realizes that the Master killed her father.
Yeah.
What a
Yeah.
fun day she's having.
And now she's
Could
under
it get any
control of
worse?
the man who killed her father. What a fun day she's having. It's only going to get better.
Yeah, but anyway, Tegan cooperates they cooperate with the Masters, and he lets Adric go, and then it's like, ha! We'll take control of Logopolis, and the Monitor's all, you don't understand. you're meddling with. If you don't stop, the whole universe will be in danger. Ah, you're just bluffing. You don't want me to take control of it, but I'm going to have its power for myself. Why, look, I'll show you. As a show of good faith, I can turn off my silencer and make Logopolis go again. Why is it still quiet?
Yeah, remember when I said this was like a big living computer? Much like when you shut down your computer in the middle of a task, it doesn't bring the task back up automatically. You
No.
might have corrupted your task.
Silence has fallen. It's not good.
Here's the major conceit of this story. We've been talking about entropy. Well, here it is. Logopolis has actually been fighting against the unstoppable decay of entropy with their math alchemy of block transfer computation.
They were
And the way they've been doing
already
it-
dead,
Yeah.
but they just refused to accept it. So
Which, math alchemy is a pretty good way to fight entropy. Honestly, harnessing the emotional power of teenage girls is a pretty good source of fighting
Oh
entropy,
my
too.
God.
Contract?
Contract?
that's 2 QB
Contract?
references. That's too many. That's too many QB references today.
But here's the interesting thing that comes in the continuity of the season, where to
Technically,
combat...
this is a teenage girl.
Oh my god. To combat the entropy...
The day is saved. That's
The
the
Logo-
Powerpuff Girls. Move on.
To combat the entropy, the Logopolitans created wormholes to another universe with which to siphon the entropy off into. And those wormholes are charged vacuum envoidments, CVEs, which, if you'll recall, are the very thing that the Doctor and Romana slipped through in the TARDIS during the E-Space trilogy.
You know, E-Space does look very barren.
Which is why I've always wanted, it's pretty fan servicey of me, but I've always wanted like a story where E-Space gets pissed off that this other universe is sending decay and entropy their way, and they're like trying to do something about it.
No, it's fine. It's their problem. It's not our problem, so it's fine.
It's not a problem anymore. So Logopolis has been fighting off entropy by shunting entropic force into another universe using their math alchemy. But now the Master has fucked it all up by killing half of the processing power of the planet and silencing it.
Thanks, Thanos.
And now it's completely dead. And entropy is spreading rapidly and is going to undo the entire fucking universe.
Yeah. So it starts with they go outside and they just found all the Logopolitans dead.
Logopolitans.
Not just dead, but turning to dust in front of their eyes.
I don't feel so good, Monitor.
They're all dead. They don't get to say anything now. They're just all dead. And the city is collapsing. And we should point out, by the way, that despite being 2 similar words, entropy and atrophy are 2 very different things.
Yes.
Entropy is decay, while atrophy is what Manchester City won this year 3 times.
Doctor Who football alert!
Oh, I've missed you guys. I've missed you guys.
The Master's not buying this.
Yeah,
the
I
Master's
caught
not
that.
buying this.
I caught that.
Yeah, the Master's not buying this. It's like, no, this is a trick. You're somehow tricking me. You're not letting me have what I want. Nyssa, get him! And so Nyssa moves forward with her controlled arm, but then she grabs it back. And the fucking bracelet on her arm disintegrates because of entropy.
The entropy got that too, yeah.
And it's like, oh shit, this is for real. I may have made a serious tactical error.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
And so the part 3 cliffhanger then is the TARDIS arrives, but wait, who's piloting the TARDIS? Why, it's the Watcher. And so the Doctor sends Adric, Nyssa, and Tegan into the TARDIS because he is about to make a deal with the devil and make a contract with the Master
Yeah.
to save the universe.
Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage are about to shake hands.
That's the cliffhanger. They shake hands to work together to save the universe.
The Master Powers unite.
Dun dun.
That's literally the cliffhanger. Is one last hope, and they shake hands, which is a pretty big deal, or it should be, because it's the Doctor and the Master allying to help each other.
They tried to make a bigger deal out of it. Actually, there's a line. I remember this in some like commentary or infotext or something. There's a line where the Master's like, "If you ally yourself with me, Doctor, you'll never be able to return to Gallifrey." And I think that was like a hook for the Doctor being even more out and outs with Gallifrey, but it never really came to anything.
Yeah.
But either way, the end of part 3 is the Doctor and the Master are going to work together to save the universe from entropy. And so we begin Tom Baker's final episode with Tegan running out of the TARDIS because fuck being safe. The Doctor's my ticket back to Earth.
Yeah. And the Watcher was going to take them out of space and time to protect them.
But
yeah,
that.
because I mean, it's not like certain people were, funneling entropy outside of space and time itself or anything like that.
Well,
so Logopolis is falling apart, but it's okay because there's one God damn it, Logopolis
the monitor's left.
It's the Monitor, and the Monitor's got this great idea. He's come up with this program that will make these CVEs permanent.
And then you can
beam
the entropy through.
Guys. I know why he's called the Monitor.
Computer.
Because, yes, it's a living computer. He's the one who interprets the data for everybody else.
Yeah?
He's the Monitor.
Wow!
He's the Monitor.
That's stupid.
It's a double meaning.
The Monitor it's stupid. I love it.
A Monitor oversees everything, but
stupid,
also
I hate it and I love
computer monitor. It's kind of great, and also not.
Well, anyway, let me just start reprogramming the thing so you can send the energy through the CVE.
Oh
dear,
why can't I feel my
got
everything? This
yeah.
Okay, we bagged on the effects in Traken.
We did.
That is nothing compared to this.
What a fadeaway.
Green screen drapery.
It's a green screen wipe away effect, but it's so bad.
1981, how we love you.
And bear in
Can
mind,
I also say I absolutely despise the hole that's supposed to be in the wall right behind the console he's working on.
What year did
it's so
what year did Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark come out?
1981 as well.
Really?
Yeah, but I think this is slightly before because this would be like March 1981.
Yeah, but
I would also argue Indiana Jones had a much better budget.
This is Doctor Who we're talking about. Doctor Who had the budget of Your Last Takeaway.
Yeah. So the monitor's
string and some
gone.
sellotape.
The monitor has crashed, and he's not turning back on. Computer says no. So
the Master is just like, fuck this, I'm out of here. You can have Logopolis.
Well, there won't be much of Logopolis left in a minute, but yes.
That's the point. Well, the Master's like, fuck it, I'm leaving.
He allows
and
Yes. Yeah, I saw that one coming.
But Tegan arrives, and the Doctor's like, help me take apart this computer. And they take it apart, and the Doctor realizes, oh, hey, this is bubble memory. It doesn't decay. So the program to beam the entropy out into the CVE is still in here. And since this is a replica of the Pharos project on Earth, we can take this memory to Earth and beam the thing there and save the universe.
Yeah.
And which Tegan is on board with because, oh, Earth! It's funny because it's like, I know where I need to go. Oh, where's that? Earth, yeah. Oh, Earth! Oh my God! I want to go home.
Yeah.
Yeah, Earth.
And then we brought up Indiana Jones just now, but another Harrison Ford film gets a kind of a nod here.
Oh, it's one.
Really? Which one?
Oh, just Star Wars: The New Hope. Because you know how we spent the last adventure on the Traken Union.
Yeah.
Nyssa wishes that ceases to exist.
Oh no! Oh, you can't put it like that, Rain. You can't put it like.
Oh no! There's an entirely different way that you could put all of this. Would you like to know what that is, Rain?
Oh, please enlighten us, Cat.
Do y'all remember 2021 when the show was bad and we had the flux?
Oh my God!
Oh, hey, would you what? You mean the serial where half the universe was wiped out and then never reset or fixed again?
Oh
Why,
my god.
it would be a shame if that happened like 40 years prior in Doctor. Oh,
You're right, and I hate that you're right.
Hypno, you hack!
That's warranted. But also the fact that Nyssa has to watch as her planet is destroyed in front of her eyes.
It's like, oh my gosh, it even has the same thing where, obviously they replaced the Master with Swarm, but the Swarm comes into a planet, he destroys the planet's people, and then that releases the thing that starts to eat the entire universe.
My god!
And following up on what Brainiac just said, one of the supporting characters becomes the last of their species as their entire race is genocided off screen.
Yeah. We don't
Oh,
even
I'm sorry.
see...
Which of them do you mean? Because there's a lot of them.
Well, I was referring to... I'm deliberately referring to paralleling Nyssa with Cardinista.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because she gets that sad moment of, my entire planet is dead and I'm the last of my species. Anyway, on with the adventure.
Yeah. I mean, in fairness, Princess Leia got over the destruction of Alderaan pretty quickly as well, so... This is just mirroring.
But
oh,
yeah,
fuck it.
That! He said it!
Remember 2015 when this show was great?
It was great. But yeah, I should mention that this was Chibnall's childhood Doctor Who, the Davison years, and by extension this, so I think he may have picked up a few inspirations from around this time.
Quite possibly.
And he did it badly. And it still just pisses me off just as much.
I want to read. I would like to read something from the wiki here.
Go ahead.
This serial, arguably, as pointed out in About Time 5 by Lawrence Miles and Tatwood, has the largest body count of any Doctor Who story, albeit not graphically shown, as the destruction of Logopolis apparently causes a significant portion of the entire universe to be swallowed by a wave of entropy. At the very least, the Traken Union is destroyed, which would put the death toll in the billions and make the Master a mass killer on an unprecedented scale, albeit not by intent. The Last Great Time War potentially has a higher body count, but even were a death toll to be given, it occurred off-screen.
Yeah.
You could just take that entire thing, change a few names, it'd be the Flux. That's just the Flux.
I'm not asking that they make it graphic, but, I'm not saying that they get the actors from Keeper of Traken back just to have them get wiped out in a cloud of white or anything like that, but it's just so understated.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. This is catastrophic. Armageddon. And it's like, oh no, anyway.
Yep. It's a bit off, but anyway, the Master gets knocked on the head by some falling debris, and the Doctor and Tegan find him, and they're like, "Oh, hey, you didn't escape. Anyway, let's go to Earth."
Yeah, they go to the actual Pharaoh's project. Meanwhile, Adric has a conversation with the Watcher, and the Watcher allows him to take control of the TARDIS and bring it back to Earth.
They need to go also to the Pharaoh's project. So we got this guy who's just listening to classical music on his Walkman, and the TARDIS shows up, and the Master's TARDIS, I should add. And the Master's holding this thing, and the Doctor's like, "No, you fool, don't shoot him. Oh, this is just a light-speed overdrive. What, you thought he was going to shoot him? Why don't you go explain it to him?" And the Doctor goes to explain it to him, and pulls him away just as the Master's about to shoot him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like this moment came up, he's like, "Here, take this, Doctor," and I'm going to shoot him anyways.
What a little shit. But the guy's only knocked out, and so they're like, "Okay, well, we knocked out the technician, so we can program the computer to send the thing."
Yeah.
And they start fiddling with the computer.
The dish is pointing away from where it needs to be.
So they have to go fiddle with the dish directly.
This is just GoldenEye.
And, well, they do this, they go to do this, and their stealth check is unsuccessful. Chased by guards.
It's a bit more Riders Got Away, but also it's a dramatic moment.
Okay. I really love the line. I really love the line from Adric and Nyssa as they arrive at the Pharaoh's project, where they're like, oh, this is a project for Earth people to try and make contact with extraterrestrials. Well, that's us. Let's go say hello.
They'll be really happy to see us.
Yeah, they're not gonna have you put inside a glass jar.
Which
I mean,
they
let's
do
be
is
fair. Let's be fair. Knowing around that time, more than likely, it'd be like, Adric, get him.
well, they do act as a distraction so the Doctor and the Master can go to the dish. But yeah, Adric is basically like, "Oh, hello, we're those aliens you were looking for. How do you do?"
How
then
do you
Tegan
do, fellow
goes and joins them.
terrestrials?
Yeah. So the Doctor he climbs a bunch of ladders and makes it up to the top of this dish to the control room. But the Master has already beaten him there in the TARDIS and has already done the thing. And he's like, "Oh, well, yeah. I took the liberty of taking my TARDIS anyway, and I did all the things. All you need to do is plug the cable in, and the day is saved."
And then,
And while the doctor's doing this, the Master goes outside and he pulls out the tape recorder, which he took from the guy listening to his Walkman, I guess.
yeah.
And he records a little message. And here's the Master's plan.
And
The
then
day
the
is
master
saved.
powers explode.
The day is saved. Entropy will be stopped, and the
As
universe
long as
is
you do what I say.
as long as you do what I say, because the Master's grand scheme is, I'm going to hold the universe hostage, and if they don't let me be the ruler of all creation, I'll let us all die. Now, if I were to be a nitpicky type, here's the thing I would say. It wouldn't be the thing of how does he talk to them with a tape recorder? It'd be, you're beaming this on an Earth satellite. You know how long a radio wave takes to get into deep space? You remember fucking Futurama, where those aliens were just getting 2000s sitcoms in the year 3000? By the
It's
time
not even just that. It's also like, so your plan is, hey, all y'all, let me rule or else I'll destroy the universe. But dude, you're in the universe. What the fuck are you going to do?
die. But
Yeah.
but also, by the time they're able to reply, because even Adric says, half the universe is destroyed, but Earth's galaxy still has a few hours left, so we can still have time to save everything. In a few hours, that shit is not going to be even past fucking Jupiter before you fucking die of entropy. But
Unless you did some sort of technobabble bullshit to enhance the signal so that it would be up there in time. But they don't explain that.
Well, I have a thing. The Master refers to multiple times this thing called the light speed overdrive, which I'm charitable enough to say takes the radio signal and transmits it faster than light, so that
They still don't explain that.
They don't explain. But I can fill in the plot, so it's fine. But anyway,
to be fair, we're from the future where we know all this stuff. Maybe back then it wasn't common knowledge that it would take forever for the signals to actually get out there. So they're just like,
it's a minor little thing. It doesn't really matter. The point is that the Master's like, ha, the CVE is mine, and the Doctor just says, only as long as the cable holds. And he goes out to the walkway to bravely unplug the thing and save the day. And so begins the final tussle with the Doctor and the Master, which is great because the Master is chuckling to himself as he's still there. They looks and is like, wait, he's gone outside. I better go follow him. And in that time, the Doctor has taken his scarf and tied it along the railing to trip the Master. So they get into a little tussle. I don't know if it's long enough for you to play the Star Trek theme, but it is.
Well, I can always do this. There you go.
Good enough. Yeah, they have a brief little tussle. But then the Master goes back into the control room, and he starts hitting buttons, which turns the walkway or the dish or whatever, with the intent of, oh God, I'm going to flip it over and send the Doctor plummeting to his death. And this is where the funniest bad effect, cheap effect is for me. So you have Tom Baker on this walkway, and the walkway is obviously real and moving, but behind him you have this blue screen, green screen, whatever background of the tower, and the thing and the master watching. And since it's like just a static image, you just have this JPEG of the master looking through the door, like as the thing is turning. When you notice it, it's just so funny. But on the special edition, they actually bothered to make that move, just to give it a little more heft. But it always amuses me every time I see it. Just see the solemn JPEG of the master going. And so, as Nyssa, Tegan, and Adric look down from below, the Doctor crawls along the rapidly turning walkway and starts beating at the cable with like a wrench to knock it out. And he knocks it out just in time, but oh no! He's fallen along with the cable! And as he's hanging on, we see a whole bunch of enemies from Tom Baker's tenure on the show. We have the Decayed Master from The Deadly Assassin, a Dalek, a Cyber Leader from Revenge of the Cybermen, the Captain from the Pirate Planet, kind of a deep cut, but whatever, Davros, a Santaran, and the Zygon. And everyone
they're all saying Doctor, right?
Yeah, they're all saying Doctor. And then it ends with the Black Guardian from the End of Armageddon Factor saying, Doctor, you'll die for this! Just, I don't know, weird little bit of continuity, but also to celebrate, the long storied career of Tom Baker. The longest running Doctor by like 6 years and 2 months or something like that. But wowza. But he's holding onto this cable. His grip is slipping, and Doctor Who indeed plummets to his demise. Because this is a regeneration story. The Doctor falls, as it were. And so the Master, thwarted from holding the universe at ransom, just escapes.
He escaped.
He escaped. And I'm sure we won't see him again in a story's time. No. And so we get to the actual regeneration itself.
Yes, we do.
Where, yeah,
It's not good.
it's
different.
It's not good.
So I did kind of like he's laying there, all the companions gone, they start saying Doctor, Doctor, and then just like we got with the villain montage, we get a companion montage. And so all the companions say Doctor. So we see Sarah Jane, we see Harry Sullivan, the imbecile, we see the Brigadier, and then there's Leela, and both Romanas, and of course we can't forget K9.
K9.
Yeah,
K9 is technically in this story. Yeah.
I'd like to point out this.
I'm going to count this as a K9 story just because I can.
I'd like to point out that I do like how when we get to the fifth Doctor's regeneration, which we've already covered before this, because we're Blue Time in Wyoming, they kind of do a similar thing here, but they do it in a different way.
Yeah.
Where they have the companions like Adric, Tegan, and Chameleon for some weird reason circling around his head.
Cursed robot.
And then it's replaced by Anthony Ainley just cutting through all that nonsense to go, you must die, Doctor. It's kind of great.
Doctor!
Yeah, it's kind of great. He earns his money for that.
Turn into Colin Baker now.
Anthony Ainley earned that money for that 15-second cameo. He really did.
Yes.
So I would also like to point out, this is something that I read on TARDIS Wiki, is so Tom Baker was really pissed off during his last episode. Like, he literally did not want to go. And so apparently
this is a running theme.
Is it?
Like definitely in this season, his last season. We've talked about it before, where he was really just done and grumpy, like with his look at all the scenes with Lala Ward, where it's like they act together, but then off camera they're like, God. But I think I know what anecdote you're going to share.
It's like during one take of the regeneration, apparently Tom Baker then turned to Matthew Waterhouse and said, Adric, you're see you next Tuesday, and you always will be.
Jesus Christ.
He didn't censor
Is that real?
it like I did. Yes.
Oh my God.
My God.
Again, though, he did not censor it like I did.
No. But
I don't know why, but
I
that really
kind of
makes
wish
me
that
laugh.
had been made. I mean, I know why it wasn't, but I kind of wish that was a DVD extra.
no, the best instance of Tom Baker swearing is how long, K9? Insufficient data. Yeah, you never fucking know the answer when it's important.
Yeah, and the crew in Lullaby just busting up in the background.
Well, it was a Mary Tam in that one, but
Sorry, Mary
But
Tam. Yeah.
maybe you can also tell me. There was a celebration where Tom Baker said he was asked why he left the series, and he said that he was pushed by Anthony Anley. Anley, I can't pronounce.
that doesn't make sense.
Explain.
I mean,
Keeping kayfabe
that doesn't make
alive?
sense to me. That doesn't really make sense to me considering Anthony Ainley joined in the last couple
No,
stories.
it's a joke.
Oh.
Why did you leave the show? I was pushed by Anthony Ainley off the dish.
Oh.
He wasn't pushed though.
No,
okay.
but that's what he's talking about.
I
think.
took it metaphorically. Okay.
I don't think he's
whatever.
being metaphorical.
Look, I'm just making sure because they use the actual actors' names rather than the characters' names, so it did seem.
There's
Yeah.
no
But,
talking about them having a feud, but maybe they did.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But the doctor goes off with a smile, one last big grin from Tom Baker. It's the end, but the moment has been prepared for.
I do love that as a parting line.
Well, you kind of love less what happens then, because here's the Watcher again, who merges with the regenerating Doctor. Because as Nyssa explains, he was the Doctor all along.
Anyways, moving on
Watcher
from
over
that.
the road. It was Davison all along.
So,
But yes, moving swiftly on from that because we have no explanation, and hell, they don't give us an explanation for
it's
any
an
of that.
extratemporal projection of the
Don't
between
even try.
Doctors 4 and 5. There you go. Fucking
Don't even try. Don't even try. It's stupid.
It gets even worse because there's now some people think that the Valiard is basically a Watcher. But a Watcher with full sentience.
Listen. Fandom is gonna do any goddamn bullshit to try to explain the Valiard, and they're not gonna succeed.
It didn't work for Star Wars. It won't work for this. But
anyway, Peter Davison.
He's here.
He sits up.
Hooray!
He sits up. Roll credits.
Roll credits.
They're about to be surrounded by guards, so I can't wait to see how they get out of that one.
I wouldn't call it a shit-eating grin, but it's a grin.
Cat, that's funny because that's basically how Casper Valva Part 1.
Literally, it is.
It's just like, oh shit, I've just regenerated and there are guards after
You're
me.
under arrest.
Leg it.
Well, I sure would like some time to recover from this regeneration. You're under arrest. Oh, god damn it.
Who am I again? But yeah, that's Logopolis. What did we think?
Kat, you picked it. Do you want to go first?
Oh yeah, Kat did pick it. I picked it.
Yes, I did.
Sorry.
Yes.
Cool.
Go ahead.
I mean, it was interesting. Like, it kept my attention the entire time. I probably would watch it again. I think the only thing that really takes away from it are mostly the effects. As well as the fact that they don't, like, obviously I'm one of those people who, I'm with Frez on this, you don't have to explain everything. Sometimes you do gotta explain something, though. And you really should have explained the Watcher. Because, they don't make no sense. Like, at all.
Sure.
So, yeah, that kind of takes away from the Fifth Doctor, coming into play and everything, and... I mean, I also am not a big fan of the way he died. Like, he just fell off a tall thing, and then he did. Not really as dramatic as past and, most future ones are going to be. So... I enjoyed it. There's just some parts that I wasn't a big fan of.
I mean, your favorite Doctor died by banging his head on the TARDIS console, so... Falling off the thing is a step up from that, admittedly.
Not really, because this is the Fourth Doctor.
So, Brain, you want to go?
Oh, sorry, my go?
Yeah, your go.
I was kind of lost in thought there. Sorry. Okay, so I think Logopolis is interesting. I think it has a lot of very interesting concepts and ideas that perhaps were worthy of being more elaborated upon. But the Watcher, Cat's right. I mean, if it's supposed to be this spectre of impending doom and impending change of regeneration, it shouldn't be able to talk to people. It should just be a vision, not that vision.
I mean,
not...
to be fair, apparently it was not able to talk. It spoke telepathically.
Well, there was no explanation of that at all.
Yeah.
It shows up, it points at Donald Sutherland, then it shows up, it beckons to the Doctor and has a conversation with him, long distance, so we can't see what it's saying. It communicates with Adric. It's all over the place, basically. But the whole, I think that Logopolis is an interesting setting. I think I can't say it again. Logopolitans? The Logopolitans? Again, there's something there. There is something there. I should also point out that their ultimate fate kind of mirrors what happens to the antagonists of a Sentai show.
That's
Kachiri,
my
that's
God.
for you.
Okay, yeah, but you also said mirror, so that was for me. So you're pleasing two
there you
people
are.
at
Please
once.
both of you at once.
You've said mirror more times on this podcast than I have. Are you okay?
Clearly not. I fell down a vertical shaft. Were you not paying attention?
He was very busy down there doing a lot of climbing, so he had a lot of time to.
28 days in a sodding sewer.
Well. At least you had Kyoko Kirigiri to talk to.
Oh my God! I wish. There was no one there, but yeah, it's
the entire time he's down there, he's climbing back up.
I don't think it's terrible. I think there might be too many cooks in terms of the companions, because we have Adric and Nyssa and Tegan.
Still do it better than Chibnall.
It's a strange debut for Tegan as well. She would improve a lot in the future. Yeah, I don't know if I can recommend it, but it's okay.
Nice.
It might be better than Traken.
I'm going to interject because I had a little bit of time to think through my thoughts a bit more.
Go ahead.
Please do, I'm done.
I think part of the reason why this serial is so disappointing is that it is the Fourth Doctor. Like, I kind of made the joke where it's like, the Sixth Doctor died by hitting his head on the console, but the Fourth Doctor died by falling off, and it's like, yeah, but he's the Fourth Doctor. The Fourth Doctor was a lot more beloved, and he was a lot more long-running than the Sixth Doctor, or pretty much any Doctor was. So to have him just basically fall off of something, and then the Watcher thing happens, and then he's just, he gone. It's a little unceremonial, I think. I'm not expecting, David Tennant levels of, remembering the Doctor, but I'm expecting something more.
Down.
But anyways, Frez.
Well, I really love Logopolis. I really do. I really, really vibe with the concepts, like the math alchemy and the whole theme of entropy, which has kind of been hanging over season 18. Just the weird somber mood of that season makes it one of my favorites of classic Doctor Who to go back to. And it's just this strange sort of science-y fiction fantasy thing that I really vibe with. Tegan is interesting. She's clearly going back to that 1963 well of, here's a companion who doesn't quite want to be a companion and is not afraid to speak her mind about it. Nyssa is okay. Really could have played the drama a lot better, but that's one of the failings of 80s classic Who, is that it didn't play to its dramatic strengths better and kind of focused more on the continuity, especially in the Davison era. So that's the first falters there that can be seen as this is going. But otherwise, I really, really enjoy this story. I love the concepts. Some moments are a bit hokey, but otherwise it gets a very solid thumbs up recommended from me. And what are we doing next time, Rainiac?
Okay, so I've been gone for a month. I had to think about this.
Uh-oh.
And I decided that why fight fate? Why fight the system? So next
God,
time
plan.
on Doctor Who Reviews, the story continues as Peter Davison stars in 4-2 Castrovalva.
Oh my fucking God. Oh,
Castrovalva. We're doing Castrovalva.
don't fucking scare me like
To hell with
that.
Ford of Doomsday, we're doing Castrovalva. You watch whilst you keep it down a vertical stab. You don't get to complain. I want to see. I know how the story ends, but I want to see Kat see how the story ends.
All right.
Yes,
yeah,
I would like to.
I can handle Castrovalva.
And I'm kind of enjoying doing the whole. Let's look at 3 connected stories in 3 weeks.
Which,
I do have one very important question that does need to be asked.
Yeah.
Do they fix the universe in this one?
No.
No, Traken's gone.
I'm done.
No.
I'm done.
No, there's a reason for
Nope.
it. Because it's not like Flux.
Well, we don't know what Flux is like because they haven't explained if they can fix Flux either.
That's true. But in the 80s, it was just
So
accepted.
wait, hang on. What you're telling me is that at least half the universe is gone in this one, and then Chibnall comes around, and the another half of the universe is just gone now.
That's just
Yeah.
it. It's not half the universe.
Well, it's half the universe in this.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Can you say that one more time?
It's half the universe in Logopolis that gets destroyed by entropy. We don't know how much gets destroyed by Flux in Flux.
Yeah.
Look, it's enough to the point that Earth is one of the last places left, and seeing as he is apparently doing a big heckin' mirror of Logopolis, I'm going to assume it's half again.
Yeah, that's fair. So 75% of the universe has been destroyed in Doctor Who canon.
75%, and that's
Beautiful.
almost half.
I hate it.
Oh,
I hate it.
Anyway, if you were tired of math alchemy, you're not in luck because here's more of it in Castrovalva.
But we have Peter
Oh
Davison.
boy!
We have Peter Davison with a great performance as his first time as the Doctor.
He does some interesting things with post-regenerative trauma.
Anthony Amy actually has a pretty good role too.
Yeah, and there's some really fun imagery in Castrovalva
And
that I
there's
just
stuff going on
remembered.
with Tegan. It's interesting, I think. Again,
I
this
think
was interesting.
we will have an interesting time with it. So, Rainiac, where can you find us lovely people?
You can find us lovely people on Twitter if it still exists at the time this podcast goes out.
Oh right, yeah. If our rate limit isn't exceeded, Elon.
Did you know what
I
that
don't
was
go
about?
on Twitter anyway, so...
That wasn't even. There's conflicting stories that one, yes, he did limit the rate because it went up to 1,000 posts a day, and now I think it's indefinite again. But there's also talk that it was because he forgot to pay or refused to pay Google Cloud, and so came up with a rate limit thing as an excuse why the servers were suddenly down.
Honestly, both are incredibly legitimate reasons.
Why his site just DDoSed itself. Good job, Uncle Elon.
Yeah.
But yeah, Reviews Doctor on Twitter for the show. Individually, we are at Reynard the Maniac, at Freezing Inferno, and at Bitch Kick Me Down a Vertical Shot. No, at Concave Usurper.
You're not careful, I'm going to kick you back down there.
I know. Anyway,
I mean, you're going to run in front of my foot again.
Twitch. And then I ran in front of a foot. I ran in front of a foot 5 times.
You gotta stop popping that gum.
I had it coming, etc., etc. So, twitch.tv
Chicago.
/Rainiac /Freezing Inferno /Concave Usurper and /The Kachiri. I forgot to mention him because I was doing a bit about Kat's Twitter handle, but Kachiri can be found at The Kachiri on Twitter, at The Kachiri. And side note, we miss him. Come back.
We'll talk about Kamen Rider sometime.
I've changed my mind. Never mind that. No, he was. We've joked about the vertical shaft. That's a hell of a sentence just came out of my mouth. But we've made jokes about the whole me falling down the vertical shaft thing. But in real life, things are going on, and he has been like really a good friend to me while that's been going on. In fact, you all have.
Oh.
So thank you.
Oh,
Before
you're
I-
welcome then for kicking you down that vertical shaft.
Yes, that's what triggered it. Before I get to Weepy, you can buy Tower Through the Trees by Sean Dillon on Amazon.com. And you can buy volumes 1 and 2 of Back to the Nth Hour by Lena Fenrira Mattia. Thank you, got it right in one, I hope. And
Hey!
yes, I approve of that give. And join us next time, unless I've got any other shout outs. So you're
Shadow of the Gallifreyan, Book 1.
Shadow of the Gallifreyan, Book 1, which this guy wrote for.
Yes. Also, Lena McTeer and
also Lena
Sean
Fenrira
Dillon.
Mattia, yeah. And Sean Dillon again. Did he write for it?
Yes.
Okay. It's been a month and a half, guys.
Yeah.
It really has. I'm not going to go into too many details, but it's been rough. But thank you for listening to us talk about Logopolis. And join us next time when the story continues and Peter Davison stars in Castra Valva. Until then, bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Rain, what's that over there?